I think I'm inspired by the things which you might find not very inspiring if you didn't think to be inspired by them, like grass. At first, I wasn't quite sure how to go about this. What inspires me? Do I go with the obvious and say that I'm inspired by my parents for their unwavering belief in me even when I had none in myself, because I think it shows an incredible amount of faith? Do I say that I'm inspired by my teachers, or do I say that I'm inspired by the classics, or do I say that I'm inspired by my friends, because I'm equally inspired by all of them? Do I say that I'm inspired by failure or by success? Am I inspired by people who stumble as well as succeed? Am I inspired by those who seem completely unimpeded by that failure, who use it to drive them further instead of turning away and choosing something else? Inspired by the things that remind you, that remind us to look around. I'm inspired by the time right before dawn and the time right after dusk when the world smells different. I could say that I'm inspired by crayons because I love how many colors there are, and I think I'm inspired by glass tables and glass windows and the way they look when different things are falling against them, whether it's snow or rain. I am inspired by the intersection of anything visual and written and sung and performed and interpreted, because to me those crossings are some of the most fabulous. I am inspired by So You Think You Can Dance because I think it's incredible that things can be interpreted that way. And I will say that I have a book inspired by a single song and dance number on So You Think You Can Dance. I am inspired by change. I'm inspired by the cyclical nature of it, and by the sudden nature of it, and by the frightening nature of it. I am inspired by the people who do things which seem absolutely impossible, and the people who do things that seem completely normal, and yet they still do them because most people don't. I am inspired by the way I sit some days and I listen to the world around me, and I see the world around me, and I try and take in that moment and say it will never be like it is right now ever again, and yet the next day, even though it's different, it is even more beautiful. I am inspired by the way my cat seems so happy just being. I am inspired by what people can do and by what people don't do and what people should do, because if they don't do it, it inspires me to do it. And if they do it, it inspires me to do it better. I am inspired by a great many things. I'm inspired by chocolate. I'm mostly inspired by chocolate because it tastes so good, and yet it can taste so different. I'm inspired by every single day, and how every single day is different, and how every single sky is never the same, and yet when you look up at the stars at night, you feel like it's one of the only constant things. The question is, what inspires you?